Who doesn't want to turn a small stash of cash into a yacht and a private island? Options investing gives you a shot at some serious gains if you know what you're doing. And guess what? I'm here to make sure you don't end up in the ramen aisle forever. What the heck are options?
It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
Imagine you're at a casino, but instead of betting on whether the roulette wheel lands on red or black, you're betting on a company's stock price. An option is basically a contract that gives you the right but not the obligation, like that gym membership you keep forgetting to cancel, to buy or sell a stock at a certain price within a certain time frame. There are two types of options: calls and puts. A call is like your buddy who's always optimistic, betting the stock is going to go up. A put is like your friend who's convinced everything's doomed and bets the stock is going down. So, pick your squad and let's roll. Now, you might be wondering, why mess with options when I can just buy the stock? 2 words. Leverage, baby. Options let you control a large amount of stock for a fraction of the price. It's like being able to rent a Ferrari for a weekend instead of buying one outright. Maximum flex for minimal cost. Imagine this. Instead of dropping $10,000 on 100 shares of Tesla, you could drop $1,000 on an option and potentially make the same, or more, if the stock moves in your favor. See? You don't have to be loaded to play in the big leagues. Okay, so let's break it down with an example. Let's say you're looking at Apple, because who isn't, right? If you think Apple's stock is going to skyrocket, you could buy 100 shares, but that's going to set you back, like, $10,000. Instead, you could buy a call option for a fraction of that cost. If Apple's stock goes up, you cash in big time. If it doesn't,
Vault, now! Get the fuck up, now! I can't!
well, you're out the cost of the option, but you didn't have to sell your car to get in the game. Alright, now let's talk strategy. Options aren't just about betting on stocks going up or down. Oh no, there's way more to it. One of the most popular strategies is the covered call. That's when you own the stock and then sell a call option on it. It's like renting out your house while you're on vacation. You get paid, and if the stock doesn't move much, you keep the rent money. But if it does move, you might have to sell your house. I mean, your stock. It's a way to make extra cash on stocks you already own. And who doesn't love extra cash? But maybe you don't have enough cash to buy 100 shares of Apple. Enter the poor man's covered call. Instead of buying the stock, you buy a long-term call option that acts like the stock, but at a fraction of the price. Then, you sell shorter-term call options against it. It's like covered calls on a budget. You still get that sweet premium, but without needing to sell a kidney to afford the shares. Now, let's talk about the risks. Because no, this isn't all sunshine and Lamborghinis. Options can be risky, especially if you're not careful. The biggest risk? Time. Options expire, and if your stock doesn't move the way you hoped by then, you're left with nothing but regret and maybe some leftover ramen. It's like planning a beach vacation and getting hit with a hurricane. Timing is everything, so don't go throwing all your cash into options thinking it's a surefire win. Always keep some cash in the bank. And maybe a backup plan, or 3. Here's where it gets wild, though. During the 2020 pandemic, options trading exploded like that one awkward fireworks show where nothing goes as planned. Retail traders, yeah, folks like you and me, used options to bet on everything from tech stocks to toilet paper companies. Some made a killing. I'm looking at you, Zoom call warriors, while others, well, let's just say they learned some valuable lessons. The power of options investing was undeniable. It's like realizing you can either wait for stocks to crawl up 10% a year or use options to potentially double or triple your returns in a fraction of the time. Just don't bet the house or your mom's basement on it, okay? But hey, I get it. This might all sound a little daunting. That's why there are strategies out there designed to limit your risk. One such strategy is the Iron Condor. Yeah, the name's badass, but the strategy is more about playing it safe. You're betting that a stock will stay within a certain range, and as long as it does, you make money. It's like being at a party and betting that your friend won't do anything too embarrassing. If they keep it chill, you win. If they go off the rails, well, you're in trouble. Another strategy is the straddle. This one's for the thrill seekers. You're betting that a stock will move a lot, but you don't know which direction. It's like hedging your bets on whether a celebrity will have a meltdown or a major comeback. You don't care which, as long as something big happens. If the stock makes a big move, you're cashing in, regardless of which way it goes. Now, I mentioned leverage earlier, and I want to circle back to that. Leverage can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Sure, it can magnify your gains, but it can also magnify your losses. It's like using a magnifying glass in the sun. Great for starting a fire if you know what you're doing, but also great for burning your fingers if you're not careful. So, tread lightly. And since we're all about real talk here, let's discuss the fine print. Fees and commissions. Yep, brokers gotta eat too. When you're trading options, you're going to encounter fees. Some brokers charge per contract, others have flat fees, and these can eat into your profits if you're not careful. So make sure you factor in these costs before you start dreaming of that yacht. Let's wrap this up with some key takeaways. Options are powerful tools for investors, but they come with risks. Always do your homework and don't just jump in because some guy on Reddit said it was a good idea. Balance your risk with reward and never bet more than you can afford to lose. Because at the end of the day, you want to be the one telling your friends about your wins, not explaining why you're back on ramen. And remember, options can be a game changer. They let you make big moves with small amounts of cash, but they can also wipe you out if you're not careful. So, take it slow, start small, and always have a plan.